Reviewing the very first original Mac Mini from 2005. The whole thing, the monitor, the keyboard, and the computer all cost $45. But is that really worth it in 2022? It's going to be outdated. Speaking of outdated, let's talk about the software. The original Mac Mini started on macOS Tiger and can run up to all the way to macOS Leopard. I'm not entirely sure what mine is running, but here are some old icons. I think they're pretty funny to look at. For some reason, I have two iMovies. One's iMovie HD and one's just plain iMovie, but it's a question mark. Also, the mouse is so short, I have to move the Mac anytime I want to scroll super far distances. Mine is a little bit upgraded than the original version. Mine has a 1.42 GHz PowerPC processor, which is a little bit higher than the original one. And if you go into more info, which the clip gets a little weird here because I couldn't let you see the serial number, but here's all the specs if you care about that. If you right click, it gives you the weather calculator and the time, except for the time is wrong on mine. No matter how much I fix it, it will just go back to the wrong time. I think it's kind of funny. But one app that's pre-installed on pretty much every Mac these days is Chess, and which my brother really likes. He likes playing Crazy House, and you can do so much things with chess that I actually didn't even know were possible before. These game modes include human versus computer, computer versus human, human versus human, and computer versus computer, which I don't know why there's that mode, because who's going to watch two computers play each other? And then there's Crazy House, Suicide, and Losers, which Crazy House is my brother's favorite type of way to play chess.
Bishop C1 to E3.
Now back by this cable mess, which we'll get to in a minute, here's the fan noise at its peak. So we got two outlets covered now by this thing. One of them goes to the Mac and the other one goes to the display. I had to use an extension cord because mine wasn't long enough. And then you got VGA to a VGA adapter to the computer so that they can connect. And then we got another one that can go to the mouse, which is really short. Then I got a thing to go to the keyboard. So it's a lot of cords. Before we talk about the ports, I just want to mention that 17 years after this device came out, Apple copied the fan design again with their Mac Studios in 2022. Anyway, with the ports, we have a charge port on the left that kind of looks like a big version of USB-C. Then we have Ethernet. I don't know what that button is, but then we have our VGA adapter and two USB-A ports, a FireWire port, a headphone jack, and then we still have that other like small little thing at the top. I don't know what it is, but it's on my MacBook Pro. And I still don't know what that is. So if you guys know, please tell me. Thank you. Flipping to the front side, we got a CD or a DVD drive, and it can actually play movies, which I watched the full movie of E.T. on it. It was kind of fun. I'll show you a clip in a minute. But most of these ports are pretty much useless, besides maybe Ethernet and then USB-A. But yeah, it's still 15 years ago, those were pretty relevant ports. Now, while watching E.T., I could not notice any pixels. It was actually a really good display. It's like anti-reflective coating too. But it's kind of weird that it's like almost a 1-to-1 display. I wish it was more like 16 by 10 or something. That would have made it more nice. Other pre-installed software on here was GarageBand. So I kind of messed around with this for a little bit. It's kind of fun. You can listen to my fun little tunes. iMovie was also pre-installed when I got it, So I kind of messed around with the sound effects since I had no way of actually putting any footage on it. But if you can get footage on it, I'm sure it will be a perfect iMovie machine for you. For a few weeks now, I'm a little disappointed that it couldn't do more, that I couldn't connect it to internet. But I'm still surprised that I could get GarageBand and iMovie working. It could still be a calendar and chess. And technically, if you bought I don't know, a band, and you bought um Final Cut Pro or something, or you bought a chessboard and a calculator, that's all going to be more than $45. So obviously this is much more worth it than buying all those things individually. But obviously, what's the point? You could just do all those things on your phone. But overall, this was a fun computer. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with it, but I think it was pretty cool. Actually, a surprising thing was it could sometimes, like 90% of the time, it could open apps faster than on my computer. Like if I opened up like settings, it would just open up like instant on that computer because it's like nothing on it. It's running an old software and it's an old computer, so obviously it's just like it's almost instant. Except for on this, it takes a minute and it's like, pew. But like so things like Launchpad, it will launch faster on my thing, but not as much on that. But anyway, I was just very surprised today. Whether or not you want to buy that is kind of up to you. I'm not gonna give you a say in that. This is just kind of I set everything out, gave you all the I gave you the information. You take it as you will. Anyway, hope you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.